In the heart of Kumasi, a grand city of trade and tradition, where the scent of roasted plantains mingled with the spice-laden air of the market, there lived a merchant named O'Day. He was known far and wide, not for his kindness, but for his insatiable greed. His shop overflowed with fine fabrics, glistening gold and precious stones, yet no beggar ever received a single coin from his hands. He measured every deal with a sharp eye, always ensuring that he gained more than he gave. One day, as the market bustled with voices haggling and laughter ringing between stalls, an old woman appeared before O'Day's shop. She was draped in a deep indigo wrapper, her eyes clouded with age but gleaming with wisdom. In her hands, she cradled a golden calabash that shimmered like the sun itself. "This calabash holds wealth beyond measure," she said, in a voice like rustling leaves, "but only one with a generous heart can possess it." She offered it to the crowd, but none dared to take it. They feared it, for the woman was no ordinary elder. Some whispered she was a spirit in disguise, a guardian of balance. O'Day, however, saw not a warning, but an opportunity. That night, under the pale glow of the moon, he crept to the woman's humble hut at the edge of the market. With quick hands and a heart full of greed, he stole the golden calabash and fled, his mind already dreaming of the endless riches it would bring him. When he reached his shop, he wasted no time. He tipped the calabash forward, expecting an avalanche of gold, and indeed it came. Coins cascaded onto the floor, glinting like fallen stars. His laughter rang through the empty streets, but as he scooped the coins into his trembling hands, they turned to dust, slipping between his fingers like sand in the wind. His laughter choked in his throat. The next day, the market spoke in hushed tones. Merchants who once sought O'Day's favor now avoided his gaze. Customers who once flocked to his shop now whispered of his misfortune. Word spread of the cursed calabash, of how greed had tainted its magic. In desperation, O'Day sought out the village oracle, a blind man whose vision saw beyond the present. The shrine was dimly lit, the air thick with the scent of burning herbs. Kneeling before the oracle, O'Day pleaded for a cure, for a way to reclaim his fortune. The oracle shook his head, his voice heavy with finality. "Wealth gained without generosity is a burden, not a blessing," he said. "The curse will lift only when your heart is free of greed." But O'Day could not change. He clutched the calabash tighter, unwilling to let go of the promise of gold. That night, as he sat alone in his empty shop, his body stiffened. His fingers, once quick to count coins, turned to stone. His breath slowed, his vision darkened, and by the time the sun rose over Kumasi, he was no longer a man, but a lifeless statue standing in the very market where he had once prospered. The people of Kumasi gathered in silence. The old woman returned, her presence ethereal, her eyes knowing. She picked up the golden calabash from where it lay at the statue's feet, and with a soft sigh, she vanished like mist in the morning sun. From that day forward, O'Day stood as a warning to all who entered the market, a reminder that greed turns fortune to dust, that wealth without kindness is a hollow prize. Years passed, and a new merchant took over O'Day's abandoned shop, a young man with a heart as full as his shelves. He gave freely to the hungry, helped struggling traders, and welcomed every customer with warmth. And under his care, the market thrived once more, proving that true wealth is not in what one hoards, but in what one gives.